पुराने गाने, पुराने दोस्त, घर की यादें और इलायची चाय।
उबलते पानी में इलायची, चाय की पत्ती और चीनी डालें। कुछ देर गैस पे उबलने दें। इलायची चाय तभी अच्छी बनेगी जब आप यूज करेंगे रेनबो इवेपोरेटेड मिल्क, जो बना है ताजे दूध से। इसका रिच और क्रीमी टेस्ट चाय में जान डाल दे।
इतना सिंपल, घर की याद दिला दी।
रेनबो इवेपोरेटेड मिल्क, चाय का परफेक्ट मैच।
Rainbow Top Guns Season 2.
Hello and welcome to Rainbow Top Guns. I'm your host, Shane Phillips, and I need a good cup of tea. When the tyrannical Idi Amin, former president of Uganda, ordered the expulsion of all Asians in 1972, over 80,000 had to leave. 30,000 headed directly for the United Kingdom. Raghuvinder Kataria and his family were among those that had to leave their business and their belongings to start life all over again.
Presented by Nokia, powered by AUDI.
In 2009, at the height of the economic downturn, one man paid Emaar Properties $200 million for two prime properties. That man was none other than Raghu Kataria. Hello and welcome to Rainbow Top Guns. I'm your host, Shane Phillips, and I'm here with Raghu Kataria. Raghu, welcome to Top Guns.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here, and what an amazing story you have, all starting in Uganda. Do you remember anything of your days in Uganda?
Of course. I migrated there at the age of 6. My father was working there at the time, and my family moved there, and I started my education in a local school. So I studied there till O levels, and then I went to college in a bigger city, Kampala. And I was there for 2 years, and then that was the end of education system in Uganda. So I had to go to London to finish my studies. I was trying to become an accountant.
But off to work you go, you start the journey towards becoming a chartered accountant. Mm-hmm. But then you get distracted somewhere along the way.
That's right. I joined my articleship with a company called Avis Rent-A-Car. 2 years down the road, I wanted to go back to college, to finish my studies. So I left the job, I joined the college, and one of my friends, they had a vineyard in India, and he persuaded me to go to India and see if we could start drilling tube wells for water supply to the vineyards.
So your first entrepreneurial itch started at it.
That is true.
How old were you at this time?
I was 20.
At 20, okay.
And we ran this business for about 2 years, and the machine gave up completely. So I shut the damn thing and came back to London. And in about 3 weeks, I managed to get a job with A1 Cosmetics. This was a part-time job for 3 weeks. And then I got another opportunity to go in for an interview because International Computers, which was going to be my next employer, they were looking for a suitable person in the Treasury Department. So I took on that job.
And little did you know this was a chapter that would go on for 15, 16?
I was there for 17 years.
17 years.
That's correct. Now, this company ran into difficulty, and I was moved from International Computers to the now new parent company to work in their treasury department because there are many things to cope with, and they thought I could help there. And started getting involved in their treasury department, which was much bigger at the time.
But you also were a certified treasurer.
That's right. Yes. So it was a
constantly
continuation of the same field,
Right.
but a bigger role.
Right. But is this, I think, one of the tenets of a success story is that you're constantly looking to develop yourself and build new capabilities.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Part of it also stems from your self-concept, how you feel, what's your personal identity.
Yes, because I always viewed myself as being capable of doing more than what I was being entrusted with. And I always wanted more responsibility.
So you slowly start moving up the treasury ranks.
Absolutely. And then I was appointed the treasurer for Europe. And so this job took me to Thailand. At the time, Thai government wanted to privatize the telecom sector. And the Thai government wanted the project to be done, but they didn't have the funds. Well, the country had been devastated by a cyclone. So they wanted a more robust system. But then somebody had to finance it. So we developed a new technique at the time. I think it was the first time it was done in telecom sector, build, transfer, and operate.
That you invented that.
I invented that for this particular project, where we would build the project, transfer the ownership, and then operate it to generate revenue from that project to pay the financiers who are going to fund this. Ultimately, it was a big success. And all the countries in the region, Indonesia, Malaysia, even Australia, they all wanted to repeat in their countries. So I was in big demand at that time.
So you resigned to do the...
I had resigned my job from the company to concentrate on the Thai project, but I was still retained as a consultant by the company for 2 years because they needed me to do some other things also for them. Ultimately, we parted as friends and I went to India. But what it did for me was when I came to India, this company would be my partner in the Indian project.
Okay. But I thought your victory was short-lived too, because the Asian crisis...
That is correct. The Asian crisis hit around that time when we were one leg in India and one leg in Thailand, and it hit us, and the whole thing collapsed. It is a setback. But you cannot sit back and say, well, now I'm helpless and or not capable of doing anything. So, because as I said, we already had one leg in India in forming our Indian telecom company, that kept me going.
So then you plow forward, you launch into India as things are collapsing behind you. And what's the first beachhead that you create in the subcontinent?
I went to Bangalore, set up my office there, located a local partner for myself, and persuade him to join my project and provide the local infrastructure. So if you like to call that is a beachhead, you establish and...
So you come to India and you start JT Mobile, and how does the evolution occur to you get to your JV partner?
Well, JT Mobile won licenses in South India and one in North. Having operated JT Mobile for three years, we wanted to expand the footprint. And this was, at the time, Sunil Mittal had licenses in Delhi and another small state in the north. So we decided to get our two companies together to become the largest telecom company in India. And then from there we would expand by taking over the other small players. During this period, I had also had some personal setbacks, health-wise. So once these two companies came together, I handed over the management to Sunil Mittal and withdrew myself from day-to-day management of these companies, but continued to be a shareholder. And then I moved to Dubai. So I would be able to spend more time with my family in a quiet place. So all in all, I think it suited me to be here climatically close to India, similar community setups. And I decided to set up my base here in Dubai.
Moving to Dubai was one of the best things that happened to us as a family. We made a home here and the children started schooling. Dubai is a place where we are now complete as a family. So that's been really good.
Be patient and persevere, but try and do your best. Because you must deliver quality. And in whatever you deliver, there must be value added to the recipient. There's no chance of you failing.
Presented by Nokia, powered by Audi.
Around the world, millions of people are switching to Nokia Lumia for the best smartphone photography in low light. For easy wireless charging. And for city lens, to explore the world around them. Time to switch.
The Audi A8, always first class.
Rainbow Top Guns Season 2.
Raghu, to me, is one of the most dynamic people that I've met. I mean, we've been friends for over 30 years from London. He always had something special about him in terms of some sort of a zest in life. And he saw opportunities and he talked about fiber optics and something that he wanted to do, which he's achieved now. But in those days, it seemed something which we didn't even know about, quite frankly. And he actually did it, which is absolutely amazing, absolutely.
So what now is on the horizon and what's the next chapter in the story?
I believe strongly that this region needs a brand new university. And I'm willing to put in that effort. And the advantage here is you're starting with a clean slate, a lot of land, and you can design your campus in the most efficient manner, from where all types of students can come and live here. And these are the students who would otherwise have difficulty getting a visa to go to America or UK or Europe. Then they are in their own environment, culturally, food, climate, close proximity to home. So they'll be more comfortable to study here than going all the way out.
Raghu Kataria has always made and keeps making some astute investments in select businesses of his choice. He currently has interests in real estate, banking, and software, besides backing many other projects in the UAE, India, and elsewhere in the world. Raghu is currently listed as one of the most powerful and richest Indians in the Middle East. Do you have any major business philosophies that are your guiding stars or your success principles?
No, I think before you get involved in any business venture, you've got to weigh yourself whether you have what it takes to do that particular activity. And my policy is to de-risk a venture.
Right.
How do you mitigate those risks? And one of the ways of mitigating the risk is first go with those ventures in which you have first-hand experience or knowledge. Then you have already established the second line of help as to where do you go if you run into difficulty for further advice from trusted people. and then work towards it. Have a business plan and work towards it. And I think you'll get there, and so would I.
He's an extremely successful individual. Success has not been purely in terms of the wealth and the successful businesses that he's created. His success is in these friendships, in the time that he actually spends with us, in terms of what he actually has to give. He's much more of a giver than anyone can actually imagine.
I think if I just have to state it in one line, I think he's not only a man of success, he's a man of value. And he's a big source of inspiration to all us youth.
And what's the biggest loss you've ever suffered in your career?
I would say about $30 million, one single loss.
In one shot?
Because this was about developing a software package for the health industry.
Okay.
And after the dot-com crash, it didn't get sold. So we had to write it off.
What's your advice to the up-and-coming entrepreneur?
My advice is do something that you are passionately involved in. You must have an ambition to succeed. You must be passionate about your project, and you must give full commitment to it and persevere with it. So you'll always find a niche somewhere, but be patient and persevere, but try and do your best, because you must deliver quality. And in whatever you deliver, there must be value added to the recipient. There's no chance of you failing. As to whether it's going to be a huge success or a small success, but you will succeed.
Anybody who has come to him, needed help, has got help from him. I've always wondered, मैंने उसको पूछा था कि you don't get tired of helping people, and they keep telling you long story. I do not know whether they're true stories or not true stories. He says no. He says I'm listening. When I'm listening, I put myself in his shoes.
If you always put the opposite party first and yourself second, you will avoid the ego conflict. You will avoid the anger, because now you are in a responsive mode rather than a reactive mode. And that will win you many, many friends in life.
Presented by Nokia, powered by Audi, supported by the Intelligent SME, official radio partners Suno 1024 and Super 94.7 FM.
Around the world, millions of people are switching to Nokia Lumia for the best smartphone photography in low light. For easy wireless charging. And for city lens, to explore the world around them. Time to switch.
The Audi A8, always first class.
थकान का एक ही उपाय है, एक कप कड़क चाय। उबलते पानी में थोड़ा सा जिंजर, चाय की पत्ती, चीनी। कड़क चाय के लिए मैं रिकमेंड करता हूँ ताजे दूध से बना रेनबो इवेपोरेटेड मिल्क। इसका रिच और क्रीमी टेस्ट चाय में जान डाल दे। जैसे ही बढ़िया रंग आए, गैस बंद कर दीजिए। रेनबो इवेपोरेटेड मिल्क, चाय का परफेक्ट मैच।
Rainbow Top Guns Season 2.
We're here with Raghu Kataria, the legend. Raghu, you have had some real career wins. The highs haven't been as high with almost anyone else. And when the chips are up, everybody's your best friend. But what happens when the chips are down?
Good question.
Because they seem to disappear, don't they?
You see, you have to pass through some adversity to realize what actually is going on. And I can only tell you one thing. When I had my heart attack and I was in hospital, all my business acquaintances just disappeared. They never had time to come and ask me how I was. They would ask some of my family members on a phone call and things like this. But they never turned up at the hospital to ask.
And where did you have your heart attack? Did it just strike suddenly?
This was in Delhi. So I phoned the doctor and he said, well, come over, we'll check you out. And they found I had 3 blockages.
3 blockages?
That's right. And they said the only way out is a heart bypass. After the operation, again, I'm sitting at home for 4 weeks. Nobody around, only your family.
So at this point, your life must flash through your eyes.
Absolutely.
That was a good shot, by the way.
Thank you. And that's when you realize that life is about your family and your close ones. And that's what you do, what you make money for whom? For them.
So this was a game changer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think people forget that there is another life here, and that is the life with the family. And that is more enjoyable than all the business successes that you achieve otherwise. Not worth it. I'm living every day like today is the last day, and I just want to do my best and enjoy and have fun with my family. That's what I'm doing. And I've been doing it for the last 9 years now.
It's been really nice to hold Mr. Kataria's hand throughout. We started together from London. That's where we first met. And we've grown together very passionately in terms of our interests, our liking. And lately, when we moved to Dubai, it's been nice to enjoy the entire journey with him through work, through his interests, and most importantly, with the family that we have around us.
So what are some of the other big learnings you've had on your road to success?
Well, there are a few of the lessons that I've learned, but some of the more important ones are control your ego, and it will help you to control your anger.
So you control your ego to control your anger.
That is correct. If you always put the opposite party first and yourself second, you will avoid the ego conflict. You will avoid the anger, because now you are in a responsive mode rather than a reactive mode. And that will win you many, many friends in life.
He has a very close circle of family and friends that he has cultivated over decades. And these are people who he has grown up with, people he has lived with, and they continue to be an extremely close circle of people who provide a lot of energy that makes Raghu a very, very special person.
He's a very involved person. You know, any relationship that he gets into, and I think I have a relationship with him, we are companions actually, and he really gives the time and the effort to make a contribution to the person's life. And therefore I say, to me, he's a mentor, a friend, and a brother.
Oh yes, good shot.
So you said you spent the last 9 years with your family, and we're now seeing your kids are in the last leg of their academic careers, preparing for the next generation of Katarias to enter the market. Are they going to join the telecom business in the footsteps of their father?
I've left my children to decide what they want to do. So as a conscious effort, I've decided not to leave any running business for them.
As a conscious effort?
Yes, no running business.
Why is that?
Because it has been proven over generations that Unless the children have the same passion as you have, these businesses will not survive.
That's tough love.
That's right. So it's better to encash your businesses, invest the money, and let them decide what business they want to do for themselves. Then at least they'll have the passion and this to succeed.
Right.
But they are enterprising children. I mean, I've put my son through various training courses to learn about money management and risks and life coach to improve his personality, how to handle himself. So all that training work is going on. So hopefully he'll be competent enough when he comes out.
And your daughter's now just starting university this coming year?
That is correct. She also wants to do some economics and business finance. Good luck to her.
Firstly, he's such a simple person. He's always been a very close-knit person, so family means a lot to him. Whatever he's done in his life, in every single aspect, he has done with a lot of integrity. He's always stayed true to himself and to everyone around him. And that's what I would like to learn from him in whatever field I end up taking in the future.
Well, Mr. Raghu Kataria, I wanted to thank you for taking your time to come on Rainbow Top Guns. You've opened your house to us and shared your life story with us, the highs, the lows, and your lessons learned on the way to the top. Lessons we'll cherish for a long, long time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shane.
It's been a pleasure. Maybe I can just get one quick photo of you with the NOKIA. Thank you so much. That's the story of Raghu Kataria, self-made billionaire, a man who's conquered markets and built an empire. But at the end of the day, the greatest riches he did not find in his bank account, but in his heart. This episode, if it's taught us anything, has taught us that the best things in life really are free. I hope you're enjoying the episodes thus far, but more importantly, I hope they're inspiring you. That's it for this week. This is your host, Shane Phillips, signing off. You had to get rich before you realized what the greatest riches in life actually were, that you already had them before you left on this journey.
That's quite true, because when you're in business, you're in a sort of a rat race. You're trying to always achieve something, next goal.
Goal for the sake of a goal, basically.
Just for the sake of it, because all the zeros you can add to your balance sheet are meaningless. What really means is, are you able to do what you desire, when you desire, and as you desire?